someone needs a nap. Gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo. Ah, shit! Gonna throw a temper tantrum. It's the he said, who said anthem. Gonna throw a temper tantrum. It's the he said, who said anthem. Gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo. Gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo, gaga goo goo.
Hello there. Welcome to another episode of He Said, Goo Said. I'm Marty, and this is my grandson, my son, Henry. Today we're doing something we haven't done before. We are returning to an author that we covered a few months back. As you might remember, we read a book called A Cozy Good Night by Linda Ashman, illustrations by Chuck Groening. And today we are reading a direct sequel to A Cozy Good Night, a book called William Wakes Up, also by Linda Ashman and Chuck Groening. And I'm really excited because, as you might recall, where we left off, the little boy William shared his bed with a bunch of woodland creatures, and they all went to sleep, and now we're going to find out what happens the next day. Okay, so let's read it. Ready? Let's read it. William Wakes Up. On a quiet morning, sleepy and still, William looks out on a moss-covered hill. He hears a faint and distant tune and says, "My friend will be here soon. It's been a long and wintry wait. We need a cake to celebrate." Gesundheit. Wake up, it's spring. Today's the day. A special guest is on the way. Rise and shine, no time to lose. One rolls out, 4 others snooze. I'm up, I'm out, I'm wide awake. I'll help you bake a welcome cake. They stir, they whir, they mix and pour. Then Chipmunk conks out on the floor. There's way too much for us to do. We'd better wake the others too. Wake up, it's spring, today's the day. A special guest is on the way. Rise and shine, no time to lose. One rolls out, 3 others snooze. I cannot sleep a minute more. I'll gladly clean the kitchen floor. They bake, they scrub, they wipe and scrape. Says Porcupine, I'm out of shape. There's way too much for us to do. We'd better wake the others too. Wake up, it's spring, today's the day. A special guest is on the way. Rise and shine, no time to lose. One rolls out, 2 others snooze. A special guest arriving soon? I'll tidy up the living room. They dust, they shine, they fluff and buff, till Groundhog groans, Groundhog! Now we finally know it's a groundhog. It's not a badger, it's not a beaver, my bad. Sorry. Till Groundhog groans, I've had enough. There's way too much for us to do. We'd better wake the others too. Wake up, it's spring, today's the day. A special guest is on the way. Does one roll out? Oh yes, you bet. And the other? Nope, not yet. Oh dear, says Bear, it seems I'm late. May I help you decorate? They frost, they squeeze, they paste and paint. Then Bear sits down. I'm feeling faint. There's way too much for us to do. Perhaps Raccoon can help us too? They gather round the rumply bed, then pat Raccoon's still dozy head. Hey, Raccoon! Pitch in! Help out! They tug his tail, they nudge his snout. Raccoon just snores and burrows deep. But is he really sound asleep? I don't think so. No. Just outside, they hear some flapping, chirping, tweeting, tap, tap, tapping. Then a whistle, loud and clear. William says, my friend is here. They throw the front door open wide. Welcome, Bluebird, come inside. We baked a cake, it's just for you. But we might like a sliver too. Raccoon bolts up. Did I hear cake? Don't start without me, I'm awake. Says Chipmunk, that's not fair. He hasn't helped at all, says Bear. It isn't right. It isn't nice. He shouldn't get a single slice. Raccoon looks sad. He hangs his head. I'm sorry that I stayed in bed. I'd like to help now, if I could, and have some cake. It looks so good. Says William, there's more work to do. Bluebird needs a building crew. Oh yes, he's right. I do, Raccoon. My friends will be here very soon. We'll need new nests. We'll need new nests. We'll need new nests. No time to lose. Then I will help. I will not snooze. But first, says William, grab a plate. Right now, it's time to celebrate. Welcome, friends. Welcome, son. Welcome, springtime, everyone. All right, so that was William Wakes Up. Sorry to say, I had to excuse Henry for a little break. He was a little resistant to this book. And I actually had to go back to A Cozy Goodnight while we were filming just to calm him down, because he loves this book, and you know, it's in our rotation of like 6 or 7 books every day. I think it's just the repetition and the familiarity. But yeah, he was just having a hard time warming up to William Wakes Up, which was really frustrating because I really enjoyed it and I liked the new direction it went into. I really thought they were just gonna wake up and cook breakfast and, you know, do a few silly things and the animals would be on their way. But no, it seems like they were waiting on another guest, and there were some similarities in the structure and the repetition of the words. The wake up, it's spring, today's the day, a special guest is on the way. Rise and shine, no time to lose. One rolls out, 2 others snooze. So it's very similar to the, wait, we'll scooch a bit, there's room for 6, somehow we'll fit. I've seen the animals taking on the sort of mundane tasks of the cabin. And Chipmunk conking out on the floor, classic. And Raccoon pretending to sleep. I can definitely relate to that when I was little. Trying to get out of work or get out of school. This is definitely my favorite drawing of the whole book. A raccoon who clearly just wants some cake and does not care to help out with the chores. But he does keep his word at the end. He helps build the nest, so that's pretty cool. You know, the last book was so dark because it took place in the winter and it was just really dark blues, but this color palette is like these light greens and warm tones. It's very inviting. The cabin looks really nice. So once again, very charming book. I really enjoyed reading this one on my own. With Henry, it was a little difficult. There's a lot of stop and go, but that's okay. He's gonna warm up to it. It just might take a little while. Now, I'm kind of wondering how the collaboration happened with Linda and Chuck. Did Linda just call Chuck and say, hey, Chuck, it's that time again? And Chuck was like, you mean a book? And Linda was like, yeah, you up for it? And Chuck was like, Linda, for you, anything. He goes up to the attic, he takes out his trunk, he blows the dust off it. He takes out his character sketchbook, and he's like, it's like visiting old friends. The groundhog, the chipmunk. Well, let's get to work. That's how I imagined it happened, but maybe it was just like, hey Chuck, can you do another book for me? And I was like, yeah, Linda, and that was it. So big thanks to Linda and Chuck for making another awesome book for my son, who will surely appreciate it someday. But I want you to know that I love it, and I was really entertained. And it's another great book to read aloud, and just, you know, bunch of eye candy, all the details with the animals, helping out in the kitchen is just so cute and funny. Yeah, even now, like a little chipmunk with a sponge, I guess he's like wiping off the counter there. And I think that's pretty much a pitch perfect choice for the bear to be like decorating the cake, because he's obviously the most intimidating of the animals, but it makes sense that he would be working on the icing. Anyway, that's been our show. Please subscribe, leave a comment below if you have any suggestions, anything you'd like to see us review. Please let us know, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Henry. See, he wants to read A Cozy Goodnight.
Pause for street sweepers, not part of the story. There's no street sweepers in the middle of a forest.
And a whistle loud and clear.
Oh, I know how to calm you down. Go back to the first book.
Excuse me, but I've lost my way. I'm cold and tired. May I please stay? Will says, yes, I'll scooch a bit. There's room for two. I'm sure we'll fit.